There was a time when Zendaya was known mainly as a Disney Channel star. She was young, recognizable, successful, and surrounded by the expectations that usually come with being a child celebrity. But then she did something that could have destroyed the career she already had. She changed direction. Instead of protecting the image that made her famous, Zendaya began taking roles that demanded something completely different. She played a troubled teenager struggling with addiction. She entered the Marvel universe. She walked into the world of Dune. She became a fashion icon. And eventually, she was no longer simply a former Disney actress. She had become one of Hollywood's most closely watched performers. So how did that transformation happen? And perhaps more importantly, how did Zendaya manage to grow up in public without allowing her childhood image to define her future?
Chapter 1. Oakland.
Zendaya Marie Sturmer Coleman was born on September 1, 1996, in Oakland, California. Her mother, Claire Sturmer, was a teacher who also worked at the California Shakespeare Theater. Her father, Kazembe Ajamu Coleman, was also an educator. Zendaya grew up around theater, performance, and education rather than inside the traditional Hollywood machine. That environment mattered. As a child, Zendaya was exposed to theater from close range. She attended the Oakland School for the Arts and became involved in stage productions while she was still young. Before millions of people knew her name, she was learning something much less glamorous: how to perform, how to stand on a stage, how to understand an audience, how to become someone else without losing control of herself. She also worked as a child model and appeared in commercials, but modeling was not the destination. Acting was. And in 2010, at only 13 years old, Zendaya received the opportunity that would change the direction of her life. Disney Channel cast her as Rocky Blue in Shake It Up. Suddenly, she was no longer performing for small audiences. She was on television, and millions of young viewers were watching.
Chapter 2.
The Disney Machine. Shake It Up turned Zendaya into a recognizable young star. But the important part of the story is what happened next. Zendaya did not simply remain inside one successful television show. She began expanding. She competed on Dancing with the Stars at just 16 years old and reached the finale. Then came another Disney series, KC Undercover. This time, Zendaya was not only starring, she also became involved as a producer. That distinction is important because even as a teenager, her career was beginning to move beyond simply being the person standing in front of the camera. She was becoming involved in what happened behind it. That would become a recurring pattern. Zendaya was learning that fame gives an actor visibility, but control gives an actor longevity. And then Hollywood came calling.
Chapter 3.
The Door to Hollywood. In 2017, Zendaya appeared in Spider-Man: Homecoming. She played Michelle Jones, later known as MJ, opposite Tom Holland. The same year, she appeared in The Greatest Showman alongside Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron. These roles changed the scale of her career. Disney had introduced Zendaya to a young audience. Marvel introduced her to a much larger global one. But there was another challenge. Being successful in a blockbuster franchise can become a trap. An actor can become identified with one character, one look, one franchise, one version of themselves. Zendaya needed something different, and that opportunity arrived in 2019. It was called Euphoria.
Chapter 4. Rue.
When Zendaya became Rue Bennett in HBO's Euphoria, she was stepping into territory far removed from Disney. Rue was a teenager dealing with addiction, grief, trauma, and self-destructive behavior. The role was difficult. It was also a statement. Zendaya was telling the industry that she was not interested in remaining the teenager people remembered from Disney Channel. She wanted to be judged differently. And the risk paid off. In 2020, Zendaya won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series for Euphoria. At 24, she became the youngest winner of the category at that time. 2 years later, she won again for the same role. That second victory made her the youngest two-time acting winner in Emmy history at the time. The significance was larger than another trophy. Zendaya had crossed a professional boundary. She was no longer simply a former child star trying to prove she had grown up. She had become an award-winning dramatic actor. But she was not finished. She was only beginning to expand again.
Chapter 5. The Girl in the Blockbuster. While Euphoria established her dramatic credibility, Zendaya continued building one of the most commercially powerful careers in modern Hollywood. She returned as MJ in Spider-Man: Far From Home and Spider-Man: No Way Home. Then came Denis Villeneuve's Dune. Zendaya played Chani, a member of the Fremen, in a massive science fiction adaptation based on Frank Herbert's novel. The first Dune film gave her relatively limited screen time, but the sequel, Dune Part 2, expanded her role dramatically, and that mattered because Zendaya was now moving between very different kinds of cinema: teen drama, superhero blockbuster, science fiction, independent-style character drama. She was no longer relying on a single audience. She was building several. Chapter 6. The Role That Changed the Image Again. Then came Challengers. Released in 2024 and directed by Luca Guadagnino, the film placed Zendaya at the center of a complicated story about ambition, competition, relationships, and professional tennis. She played Tashi Duncan, a former tennis prodigy who becomes a coach. The role was very different from Rue, different from MJ, different from Chani, and importantly, Zendaya was also one of the film's producers. The movie became another demonstration of the direction her career was taking. Fewer roles simply designed to maintain celebrity, and more roles built around adult characters with complicated motivations. Critics responded strongly to the film, and Zendaya's performance became another important step in her evolution as a leading actor. But her transformation was not happening only on screen. It was happening on the red carpet, too. Chapter 7. Fashion as Control. Zendaya became one of the defining fashion figures of her generation. Her partnership with stylist Law Roach produced a series of highly deliberate red carpet appearances, and fashion became more than decoration. It became part of her public identity. In 2021, the Council of Fashion Designers of America named Zendaya its fashion icon. She was the youngest recipient of the award. That recognition revealed something important about modern celebrity. An actor no longer exists only inside movies and television. Their image exists across fashion, interviews, social media, advertising, premieres, and popular culture. Zendaya understood that, but she also appeared careful about how much of herself she allowed the public to own. That distinction became increasingly important as her fame grew. Chapter 8. Fame without total access. There is an unusual contradiction at the center of Zendaya's public image. She is one of the most visible young stars in the world, but she is also known for maintaining boundaries around her private life. Her professional relationship with Tom Holland began when they worked together on Spider-Man: Homecoming. Over the years, their relationship became one of the most discussed celebrity relationships in popular culture. Yet both have generally kept much of their personal life away from the public spectacle. That restraint matters because modern celebrity culture often rewards exposure. More posts, more interviews, more access, more personal information. Zendaya's career suggests another possibility. You can be extremely famous without giving the public everything. And that may be one of the most important parts of her evolution. Chapter 9. The strange place she now occupies. By 2026, Zendaya's career had reached a remarkable point. She had moved from children's television to prestige drama, from Marvel to science fiction, from acting into producing, and from celebrity fashion to becoming a recognized fashion icon. And then came another extraordinary year.
Zendaya appeared in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey and returned as MJ in Spider-Man: Brand New Day. The latter opened globally in 2026 with an enormous $932 million worldwide debut, becoming one of the biggest opening weekends in film history. At the same time, her career continued toward projects including Dune Part 3. The result is an unusual position. Zendaya is simultaneously associated with enormous commercial franchises and serious dramatic work. That combination is difficult to achieve. Many performers spend years trying to escape the label attached to their first success. Zendaya did something more complicated. She kept the advantages of her early fame while continuously changing what that fame meant.
Chapter 10. What actually made the difference?
It would be easy to explain Zendaya's career as talent, and talent clearly matters. But talent alone does not explain the trajectory. What distinguishes her career is the sequence of decisions. First, she learned the entertainment industry as a child. Then she gained mainstream recognition through Disney. Then she expanded into producing. Then she entered blockbuster cinema. Then she deliberately accepted a role that challenged her previous image. Then she built credibility through awards. Then she diversified into major film franchises. Then she developed an influential relationship with fashion. And throughout the process, she increasingly exercised control over what she did and what she did not reveal. The pattern is difficult to miss. Zendaya did not simply become more famous, she became harder to define.
Final historical reflection. So, how did Zendaya transform herself from a Disney star into one of Hollywood's most powerful young performers? Not through one role, not through one award, and not through one blockbuster. Her transformation happened gradually. Each stage gave her something the previous stage could not. Disney gave her an audience. Film gave her scale. Euphoria gave her dramatic credibility. Producing gave her greater creative control. Fashion gave her another form of cultural influence. And the discipline to keep parts of her private life private gave her something increasingly rare in modern celebrity: distance. That may ultimately be the most interesting part of Zendaya's story. She grew up in an industry that constantly asks young stars to remain recognizable. But instead of remaining the same person the audience first discovered, she kept changing. Rocky Blue became MJ. MJ became Rue. Rue became Chani. Chani became Tashi. And each role made the previous version of Zendaya feel less complete. Her story is still being written, but the evidence already suggests something significant. Zendaya's greatest achievement may not be that she became famous. It may be that she learned how to outgrow the version of herself that made her famous in the first place. For more stories about the people who changed the culture around them, subscribe to Chronos X Secrets. Because sometimes, the most fascinating story is not how someone became famous, but how they refused to remain the person fame first created.